We're at the Republican State Convention down in Houston, Texas, and I'm here with Rebecca Hardy, who's the founder of, or a founder of Texans for Vaccine Choice. And we're just talking about medical privacy and medical coercion. And tell us about what Texans for Vaccine Choice does.
Texans for Vaccine Choice, we exist to advance and protect your medical freedom. So that involves informed consent, medical privacy, and vaccine choice. And we've been doing it for just over 11 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So when I first saw them, I thought it was birthed out of the need for the COVID shot.
Yeah.
And when I found out that they were doing their activism and just lobbying for medical freedoms long before COVID was even a thing, I was honestly thankful, because COVID just woke up everyone to see how much authority the government had over all these matters.
Yeah.
And one of the things I want to ask Rebecca is, now that we've made it through this massive thing, and COVID's kind of not a thing anymore. It is in some states, not in Texas. What's the next big thing in medical privacy or even medical informed consent?
Yeah, that is a great question, and it's literally why we are here. We are pushing our next round of legislative priorities, and I know that the next legislative session in Texas doesn't start until January of 2027, but the work starts at this convention. So our top legislative priorities are going to be closing the final loopholes that allow for vaccine mandates in our Texas law. So our healthcare workers, our healthcare students are some of the only Texans still under actual mandates. There's no opt-outs for them.
Wow.
And then the other big issue that's very similar to that is that patients are still being denied care based on their vaccination status. And the fact that that's allowable in Texas is a real stain on our state, frankly. Just a few months ago, I got a call from a family whose 7-month-old baby girl, unvaccinated child, who's being kept alive in the hospital because of a heart defect.
Yeah.
That hospital wouldn't even put this baby on the transplant list if the parents did not consent to roughly 24 vaccines.
Oh my goodness.
So this is alive and well in Texas. I think the thought is that, we're good in Texas, we're red, we're conservative. That is good. Like, do I have clarity that we are better off than deep blue states? Of course I do. But this fight is far from over. And if I'm being honest, Texas is not leading the way. I mean, we've made great strides, and I don't want to disparage our good work, because we have passed some really great protective bills, but the work is not done. And we still have some vaccines some Texans under mandates.
No, what you just said was true to even on a personal level. I took my son to the hospital. He had gotten into an accident where he fell into the windowsill during his jiu-jitsu class and had a giant gash on his head. First thing the hospital asked us was, "Are you up to speed on your
TDAP?"
Yeah. And I lied. I just said no, or I'm sorry. I said yes, we are.
Yes.
And because I had heard from 2 other people that had gone to the hospital with their kids, same hospital, and the hospital has an incredible reputation for serving children and other people well. But when they told the truth and said, no, we're not up to speed on this,
they got shown the door, didn't they?
They were treated as a second-class citizen.
Yes.
And that's not okay.
I know what medical consortium you're talking about, because they're the worst, I think, in Texas. We won't name them. Well, do we want to name them?
Yeah.
Is it Cook's Children's?
It was.
I know.
Yes.
I knew it. We did not talk about this, but I knew it was Cook's Children's, because they are the worst, and it's such a frustration because, like you said, they have some of the best providers in the state.
Yeah.
But their vaccine policies are so heavy-handed and so coercive, and frankly, they are #1 in the state for medical kidnapping, and I am calling them out.
Wow. I love it. All right, so I know that there's a lot of people talking about AI, and I know that Epic is one of the largest electronic medical records out there, and I know that people have started talking about how they're training these AI in data, and the data sets that they have are actual people's medical records going into these systems. And so I know privacy, medical privacy, these are all big topics that are kind of swelling right now. It's not in most people's frontal cortex or line of thought, but can you tell us more about when it comes to medical privacy? I remember when I was a kid, I would get allergy shots. And then there was this big thing called HIPAA that passed. And I used to get those shots in front of like all the waiting area.
Oh, wow.
And then when HIPAA passed, the next thing we go into the allergy clinic and they have all the files with like a curtain across there. And they also have like a temporary like place where now you get the shot, but you get it behind the curtain.
Yep.
But now it seems like everywhere you have to turn in like your vaccines and all these things. Do you feel like that's an overstep for people's medical privacy?
Absolutely. That your vaccination status should be irrelevant to every aspect of participation in society, be it your job, be it your schooling, or just, like we saw during COVID, you couldn't go to a football game or a concert. Why we are conditioning participation in society on this arbitrary medical status is beyond me. And if you get some more footage of our booth, you will see that all of our banners say, end vaccine-based discrimination. This idea that you have to have this magical card to walk around and participate in your life is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we are really trying to end this idea of, let me start over and just say, one of the biggest hat tricks I think that Big Pharma has done is convince the world that vaccines are the only medical product of, if you don't get yours, mine doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, what other medicine is like that, right? It's like saying, I am using my umbrella so you don't get wet today.
Yeah,
I mean, I took my Claritin this morning so you don't have the sniffles. I mean, no other medicine works that way. And so that is what we are pushing for, is to really push back against that narrative from Big Pharma and say, whether you want to get any and all vaccines, we support you. But this idea that my vaccination status impacts you is something that needs to go into the trash heap of history.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so how do people learn more about Texans for Vaccine Choice? How do they jump in the fight?
Yeah,
Tell us more.
excellent question. So just go to TexansForVaccineChoice.com. There's a sign up button right there, and the best way to get engaged with us is by signing up for our emails. Yes, we are on all of the main social media channels. Please follow us there, but we cannot rely on social media to get our message out. We are still rather censored on those channels, but we are making grounds, and we send out timely action alerts. We do not spam your inbox. We send out a weekly email and with all the updates, and we invite everybody to get in the fight and join us.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.